Okay, so we're back on how to put the cookie bouquet together. So I just grabbed one of these hard wall boxes from the dollar store. It has to be firm. I've also used a coffee mug if it was a smaller bouquet, or some of those tin like flower pots that you can get sometimes in the spring. They're super cute too, but it just has to be a firm box. And I like to tuck the lid in there. And then some flower foam. So you can get it, I got mine also from the dollar store. Michael's has them, though they're a little thinner. I like this dollar store one because it's fat. Like it's wide this way, a little wider than Michael's. And then you're just going to put it in there and kind of make a mark. It has to fit tight, so you're not going to want it to be like, oh, that looks good. You want to make it a little bigger than what the box is. Was that my mark right there? You better double check. Yep. And then you just kind of cut down like that. Now it's very dusty. This floral foam gets everywhere. It is considered non-toxic, but it's not edible. Doesn't really look good on your cookies. So I usually I just spend like an hour filling a lot of these boxes along my floor, and then I can vacuum it all up. And then you're just gonna tuck it in your box, and it has to fit firm. So if it's not tight and it's able to come out really easy, like this one's fine, but sometimes they'll like be wobbly, your bouquet is going to, when you put your sticks in there, fall over, the whole thing's gonna flip out. So it has to fit in there firm. Now, I do find the floral foam, like I said, it's dusty, so you can always just get a damp paper towel and go all around it. There. But vacuuming it also works. Like I said, I do a lot of them, and I vacuum them all up. Now, some people like to put a piece of tin foil over here, or even plastic wrap. I leave mine, my cookies don't touch the bottom, but if you were concerned, you can absolutely put tin foil or plastic wrap over the foam. Then I have these ginormous wire cutters that I got from Home Hardware. They work great. They have lasted me almost a decade, way longer than the dollar store one, so I highly recommend just shelling out the $35 and getting a good set. And then you're going to go along and find, I know one of these is wobbly. Which sticks, how we were talking before, how sometimes you get like the thin breaky sticks. You're just gonna wanna see which ones are being like, ooh, maybe we're not gonna put them at the back because they are wobbly. So I want to put one of these Home Sweet Homes in the center because I like that. So you're just going to take it and cut your stick, and then put it in your foam. And you're going to want to make sure you're starting at the very front and moving all the way back, because if it's back heavy, it will just tip over. And you won't want that. That will wreck all your hard work. And then I'm going to stick a welcome mat in here. Oops. Oh, see, they're pretty firm on the stick, like I said. They just pull down right on there. And a fire. And because I had to prop up my camera, you guys just get to watch the whole thing. Maybe my tech-savvy husband will speed it up for us. Maybe not. Maybe so. So you just kind of arrange your cookies in there, however you like. Cutting the sticks a little longer each time. And you're going to want your cookies to slightly overlap. It makes it look nice and tight, and it looks really good that way. Sometimes I see cookie bouquets and the sticks are just kind of sticking up. You can see a lot of the sticks. It looks a lot nicer when you have it nice and tight. I'm just gonna keep putting all of my cookies in. If you had a really large cookie bouquet, like this one's only 16 cookies, I think, but if you had a really large one and you were like, oh, how do I fit them all in? What you would do is take some more foam and put it back here, and then take some of your cut sticks and put it in so that it's holding up your foam. So now it's nice and firm, and then you can build it up as you go along. But like I said, if you have too many, you're going to want to get a bigger box, or else it'll get really back heavy and then it will be in danger of falling over. That has happened to me. Nice thing about cookie foam is you can kind of stick it in at an angle, or the floral foam. This is a dry floral foam. In a pinch, I've used the wet floral foam, but the dry is a lot nicer. You can also, easier to take your sticks out if you made a mistake and put them back in a different way. I don't like this big gap here, so I'm going to take this stick out. Just put it in a little tighter. How does that one look? That's a little better. And then we'll just put this last one right at the top. Okay, so now I have all my sticks and cookies in, and it's quite tight in there. Like, it can lean back, it's not coming out. You can kind of see how they're in. You want them tight together. You don't want a lot of really big gaps here. You don't want them rubbing. I mean, if your cookies are really dry and you're like, ooh, they can probably touch, then that's not so bad. But I like to have a little bit of a gap. Okay? And then what I like to do is take my tissue paper. There's a couple different places that you can get food safe tissue paper if that's what you were needing. I just kind of like to fold it all up and then tuck it all in. Now I'm going to face me for a little bit. These cookies are getting picked up soon. I like to do 2 or 3 colors. And you just kind of tuck it in. And if it was wobbly and not staying in there, you can just take some of your extra sticks and kind of pinch it in. And then it's stuck in there. Stay in there, tissue. Right. Trying to get this done before my other son walks in the door. He might be a part of our video. So like I said, I've used coffee cups before. They're super cute. With the cookies, my cookies are about 3.5 to 4 inches, so a coffee cup fits about 4. cookies nicely. If you have smaller cookies or larger cookies, then it would fit more or less. But they're cute. And the little tin flowers are also super cute. The tin flower pots. I've tried with the plastic and the foam, they don't tend to work very well together. The foam always slides out of the plastic. It's hard to get it to stay in, and I've tried lots of different things. I put hot glue on the inside of the plastic container to see if it would help, but really the cardboard or metal containers just tend to work out the best, in my opinion. If you can make it work the other way, all the power to you. I never seem to be able to. So then I just tuck more decorative tissue in wherever I feel like it needs to go. And it is kind of a skill. Sometimes I use a little tool, push it in between. To get it how you like it can take some practice. Certainly my strategy of putting tissue in now was different than when I first started, so you kind of get into a groove. I've seen it done with like Easter grass or crinkle paper, those shreds, and people just kind of dump it in there. But I like the tissue because it makes it can go up, right? Where the other kind of grass, you're pretty stuck with having it only on the bottom. I'm gonna make you fancy. So you just kind of put it in there. Like I said, I have you guys all propped up, so I can't really pause it. And I'm not overly tech savvy, so I doubt there'll be a lot of editing. But you never know. Maybe I'll become a big YouTube star and then I'll get all the editing done. Maybe not. So, yeah. Kind of tuck it in wherever. Oh, that one's gone now. I like to fold it up in a certain way with little peaks. Done. If you've ever done a floral bouquet, you're probably way better at it than I. And if you had your cookies individually wrapped, you could put all sorts of things back here to display your cookies. There's a lot of really fun hair florals you could use. They're all shiny and colory, or even wrapping paper you could use, but if you're not going to individually wrap them, then food safe tissue paper is the way to go. Only a couple more in here. I just like to play around with it until I get it how I like it. There is, when you put your foam in, there's a little gap right here. You're gonna want to tuck some tissue in there. Right, and then that way you hardly ever see your green foam. So you just kind of go around, put stuff where you like it. I'm gonna stick some more blue over here because it's a little white heavy. If I had found some brown tissue paper, I might have used some different colors for our log cabin, home sweet home, but this one will do. What do we want to do? Just kind of look at it from afar, see if your tissue's covering any words, which it's not. This one is. And you just kind of tuck it down. So I'm fairly happy with this one. This is what it looks And then I just use a bouquet bag, put it all at the bottom, pull it all up, tape up the sides, tie it with a ribbon, and ta-da! You are a cookie bouquet master. So I'll make a couple more. I don't know if I have a really big one going out this week, but I often do have them going all the way up to 40 cookies, so then you need a really big box, and they're very heavy. When you are having your clients take them out, or even if you're carrying them yourself, they can lean back in a vehicle. They cannot lean forward. So I always tell people to put them in your front passenger seat. They can lean back a little bit. They can't lean forward. And you're gonna wanna make sure that it's firm in there. And if it wasn't firm, let's say you're like, oh crap, it's sliding all out. All you would do is cut off a tiny sliver of your foam, pull open your box a little bit, and shove that foam in there until it's nice and tight. Okay, I hope that helps you guys and it makes more sense, and you can see that they are firm on these cookie sticks, on these bamboo skewers. They're not going anywhere. Nothing overly fancy, nothing expensive. You can find all the stuff to make it at any store. And yeah, you can do it. All right.